Hey everybody, I finally have some time. I've been busy with school. I haven't watched this one yet. I think I had opened it and left my mouse over it and it fucking did that annoying ass autoplay shit. But here we are. We're gonna go ahead and watch this, get caught up on both of the videos that I haven't watched yet. I'm gonna do them separately, but yeah, I'll do them separately, but still, we're gonna get caught up because they could go long.
My name is Pon. I'm the game designer on SMITE 2, and I'm going to walk through the item experience for y'all. So in our current alpha, you will see the auto build flow. This is an option that you'll have at the start of the game that shows you two different options that you can build for your character.
This is good. I mean, this is in Smite still, in Smite 1. The auto builder helps people a lot early, but it's also good to see what items are what.
These have been pre-made by us that you can hop in really quickly, and you just select one if you want to use that one. It gives you a brief rundown on what it does, or you can hit disable and you can actually go into the item store and do the full item experience there. When you go to the item store, you're actually going to see that most of the items are based off components. So rather than
Okay, so we're actually going to like how other MOBAs do it. That's actually really cool. I like that.
having the mace tree that builds into 4 mace items, you now have an axe. And this axe is the core component for all strength items that exist in the game.
Yeah, no, I just I just noticed that too, where it was like the axe, and then the axe builds into all of these, and then I would assume it's like this is the base tier 1 into the tier 2 with other tier 1s, and then maybe a final item being Hydra's here in this case. Is Hydra still the same? 5 mana regen. Oh, it loses that other passive though. Interesting, but it still has this. Okay.
And so when you hit that button, you'll see a whole bunch of builds into, and that's how you determine what stats you want to go. So if you aren't sure exactly what you want in Smite 2,
I'm gonna pause
you
a
can
lot.
build an
I
axe
want to
unit
look
that
at
you want
items.
strength, and then maybe you want to get some attack speed.
Olmec Blue. Oh, it's an active item. Okay. Enemy Gods. See, and I had heard that. I think they had mentioned they'll have other items that you can activate since they aren't focusing on relics as much anymore. Enemy Gods within 6.4 meters lose 10 physical and magical protections for 4 seconds. Interesting. That could be a pretty good item for early game for sure. Is that a blink dagger I see there? Okay, let's see.
So you build a bow to give you some attack speed. Well, now you can see that you have those 2 items in your inventory. You can see what they build into, and that'll naturally kind of guide you to the item.
That's
that
the
you were
old
trying to
blink
go for in the
icon
first
too,
place.
for people that
So the
don't
main
know.
item stat changes are going to be strength and intelligence. You are familiar with this as physical power and magical power, but the main difference is
When you're hit by hard CC, gain 10 protections. Okay. And we do still have cooldown too, so that's cool.
all your characters
Hang on.
can build
It's fine.
both. There's no item
I'll go back through
restrictions.
later.
There's no you're only building
Oh my
physical
god,
power
so
items
many
or only
items.
magical
Holy
power
shit.
items. You can build all strength and intelligence items. There's a few other minor changes, like life
Strength and
steal is now a
intelligence,
global
yeah.
stat that affects everything, as well as
Oh,
CDR
that's
is now
good.
CDR again, but it's not a percentage. It actually modifies your cooldown exponentially as it gets higher and higher.
Nice.
Relics aren't a thing in Smite 2 anymore. Instead, you start with Purification Bees as a default choice, as well as a ward active that you can use. And to replace relics, we're actually bringing in actives as a choice. So you have 6 item slots, and all 6 of those items could be active items.
I wonder then if they're getting away with relics, they're saying, beads is like a standard choice in the beginning with a ward. Does that mean that it may essentially take up your item slot now, or how is that gonna work? Yeah, look at that blinking amulet. 200 health, 10% cooldown, movement speed on that, and then yeah, okay, so yeah, they're putting blink on an item. That's gonna be fucking bought on everybody, dude.
They actually have keybinds dedicated to them, so you can use them whenever you want.
I'm sorry, what did that say?
So those items could be active
Sorry.
items. They actually have
That caught me off guard. Blood Forge, yeah, 40 strength, 25% lifesteal. Health
keybinds
shield.
dedicated to them, so you can
Dagger of Frenzy, 15% attack speed, 35 strength. Gain 60 basic attack power and 40% attack speed for 5 seconds? Oh, wow. That's nuts, dude. And it has a cooldown of 50. Oh, whoops. And it has a cooldown of 50, dude. That's insane.
Could be active items. They actually have keybinds dedicated to them, so you can use them whenever you want. So you can think of this as a way to
Yeah, I'm gonna
activate
have to
your
look
passive
through that
effects without
later.
having to have it be some conditional
That just,
trigger.
I saw
There's
that
a
and was
lot of
like,
different
wait,
active
what?
effects that you can bring to your team, such as there's a mushroom that
Oh, okay, this was an active off one of his items. What is a mushroom?
you can place on the ground that heals your whole team. There's an item that knocks people away, and there's even one that actually stasises the whole team, friendly and enemy, that actually can really shift a team fight.
What? Oh, God damn, I did it again by accident. Sorry.
Team, such as there's
So that was off of whatever that is, Last Gasp or whatever. Well, I mean that's the icon for it in Smite 1, but it drops a mushroom that heals over time. Interesting.
a mushroom that you can place on the ground that heals your whole team. There's an item that knocks people away, and there's even
Jade Scepter. That's like a shitty fucking force tablet from back from Dota and Han and shit. That's funny.
one that actually
Now the other question of that is because that didn't push very far. I wonder if they were like much closer. If it pushes back all the way on the cone, that would be interesting to know.
stasises
I'm sorry, he's level. Oh, the items. I was about to say he's level 1 with 995 health. This stasis thing is nuts. I don't know how to feel about that one.
the whole team, friendly and enemy, that actually can really shift a team fight. So these are really, really powerful effects, but we've tuned them such that they aren't super stat efficient. So if you want to go a more passive route, or if you want to go a more stat stick route, you want to focus on just making your character as strong as possible, you can still go those item builds.
Okay.
The choice is yours there.
So your
And that
items that
lets
have
you choose
actives are
kind of your
not
own
as stat
level of
efficient
active
as
usage that
other
you want to be
items.
using. So we're not expecting everyone to have super high APM and execute a whole bunch of keybinds to be successful in Smite 2, but there are extra tools available for you if you want to engage in that playstyle. In Smite 2, the item store really has two main goals. We want to make it easy for you to find the items that you want by building the kind of intuitive way that you might expect to. You want strength, you start building strength, and at the end of that, you'll have an item that actually does what you wanted it to do. Outside of that, we also want to make sure that characters have the way of showing their depth of different play styles and giving a lot of control to the player about how they want to build that character through both whether they choose strength, whether they choose int, whether they choose hybrid, whether they get supporting stats versus defensive stats, or if they want to go a whole active play style that has a whole bunch of active effects that can really round out weaknesses in their team. We want to
See, I'm excited for that too because that will really let each god shine a bit more. The one thing that I always kind of hated was going the split route where it was like we had your physical based characters and magical based characters. Don't get me wrong, it makes sense. Back in the day though, like with the original Smite, and I think all the way up to season 2, maybe? It may have been before then, I can't remember. But before the split, everything was much more interesting in my opinion because you had like really crazy combos and shit you could do. Like Guan Yu was a menace because you could build like Gem of Isolation on him, and it stacked with like his ultimate and everything. Like Guan Yu was a fucking menace. But back then, his heal also scaled off of, I think, physical power, and it was nuts. Like Guan Yu was like on par with healing with hell. It was scary, and then with his cooldowns, he was a menace. So it'll be interesting going back to that kind of crazy old school playstyle.
make sure that that's something that players can easily grab onto and utilize and not be a huge burden to go into that playstyle. But also, if that's not what you want to go for, want to give that customization so you can choose that own level of kind of active choice.
Jesus, he just hit the
Items
creep
have
for over
also
1,000
that strength and
damage.
intelligence, so they're not split anymore between physical power and magical power, and a lot of our characters leverage that. So Chalk is a great example of a character who, if you want to get in there, swing your axe, and do a whole bunch of damage, largely strength is going to play to your playstyle, and you could probably build a strength build that's very similar to Smite 1. But we've also given him intelligence scaling, so things like the protections he gains on this too, and the rain cloud healing.
Really? Scaling not only the healing, but the protections he gets based off intelligence? That's very interesting. Okay. Also, 65 per tick? I'm sorry. I want to see how many times it ticks.
Intelligence scaling, so things like the protections he gains on this 2 and the rain cloud healing of his
6,
3.
7,
Those are
8,
actually now
9,
augmented
10.
by intelligence. So if you want to play this more frontline,
That was like 13,
tanky,
14 ticks,
really
and the
hard
first
to
one
kill
healed for
chop,
84.
You can go more intelligence focused, and there's
That
hybrid
was
items
like-
there to support that playstyle.
Just to exemplify, that was like 800 health that he just got back off of that 3. Holy shit. That's nuts.
That specifically give both strength and intelligence that are really good on him. But yeah, we can't wait for you guys to get your hands on it. We have our alpha coming out soon. It's going to be so cool to have you guys in there and actually trying out the item store, and definitely give us
Pon
feedback.
high res, please let me into the alpha. I want a QA test so bad. I want a QA test so bad, man. God, I'm so fucking excited. Alright, guys, this will be shorter since I have to jump into the other one now, but hopefully y'all enjoyed. SMITE 2's looking even better over time with these dev diary things. I'm super excited for it, so I'll catch y'all later.